Well, I think they've seen more than we think. I know that the Super Bowl has been broadcasted in China, and so I think it's people are getting a taste of our game. When I traveled in China in the late 80s, I had a chance, when they knew I was with the Denver Broncos and with American football. Of course, I went and saw every stadium and every place I visited, and people were talking about it. However, they called it olive ball. And it made sense because it kind of looks like that. So I think my own feeling is that the Chinese people know a little bit more about our game than we think, and I think it's an exciting time. I enjoyed my trip. I met wonderful people, and I know the commissioner is going to be traveling to China in May, and I think they're talking about an American Bowl and sometime in the near future. I think it's exciting. When I was there, I met some wonderful people, hard-working people, very industrious. When I was there, Beijing was just blossoming, and I thought the national bird was the crane. Every time I turned around, there was a crane with all the building going on. So there was a lot happening. And I do believe that from a sports standpoint, so much is happening in China in all sports. I think they're very, very well conditioned. They train hard, and whether it's track or field or ping pong or basketball and hopefully American football. I think they are very good athletes, men and women. It's always a possibility. I think it would be fun to explore that and find somebody that we'd like to eventually go over. I think the American Bowl does a lot of that. That's what happened in our American Bowl series. It opens up markets. You get a chance to meet people. Then the next thing you can do is come back in and with some of our coaches and scouts, and then come over and work out players and have an opportunity to find somebody. So I think those doors are going to open. I think it's exciting. We have 5 German teams, and it's a good market. It's an excellent market. The people have adopted us. They like our game, and enthusiasm keeps building, and and I think that's great. However, on our teams, we have international teams. We have players from Mexico. We have players from Japan. We have players from all over Europe. So it is an international team along with our American players, and I think the American players help the progress of the international players. They really do. They learn from them by playing with them. The one that I followed very closely, of course, I follow the Denver Broncos, and I follow the New Orleans Saints because I have a son coaching with the Saints, and then Atlanta. And my youngest son coaches with the Falcons, and Jim Moore. And to see that turnaround in Atlanta, that was a big turnaround of the NFL when you take the Atlanta Falcons of the year before and then take them where they had a coaching change and everything changed, and they have all the enthusiasm, and they go right to the championship game. That was a big turnaround. Time will tell, and they have great coaches, and all their off-season programs are so important with their mini camps and OTAs. So there's a lot of teaching going on. By the time they get to training camp, they're really on their way. So I do believe that there's some players out there, and Drew has the skill and ability, and hopefully it all works. He started out really wonderful. Then the moves and everything else. I think sometimes change is good. You get into a new system. And you really get somebody that really works with you, so I think it'll be fine. And that's a lot of times in the NFL today, you don't have like what in my old years coaching back in the late 60s and 70s, where you had all veterans and there was very little movement. Now you've got in the NFL, you have probably 20% of your team is new every year, so you got to get used to change and new people coming in. So it's a different deal.